Welcome everyone to another episode of the Terrain Studio. I'm your host, Sean Morris. Today on the Terrain Studio, I'm bringing to you my Conf Group Peiper army. This is the army that I'm going to be playing at the ETC in Serbia this year as I captain Team Canada. That's going to be taking place between August 9th and 11th actually, so stay tuned for lots of post-tournament coverage on that. But back to the army itself, the Conf Group Peiper army that you see before you is available in Devil's Charge. That's a book that basically chronicles the Battle of the Bulge, 1944. The Conf Group Peiper Army, the reason I mainly selected it is because I was really a fan of the color scheme that Battlefront had put out for it. Obviously, it's more historical based, but Battlefront was the one I first saw the tanks and the images on, so I immediately said I'd love to have that army painted up. So I got in touch with my painter, and over the last few months, he's been painting it, and then over the last few weeks I've been receiving the army here in the studio. So before you hear, this is just a portion of the army itself. I do have some more units coming, and I'll maybe tell you guys about those at the end, but let's focus on the units that I do have in front of the camera now. So over to the left hand side we have 3 King Tigers. These have the Fallschirmjäger riders on them for model purposes and for gameplay purposes. Then at the lower left hand corner here we have 4 half tracks. These are the SDKFZ 251/1Ds. It's basically the standard half track that most of the Germans are riding in. At the bottom of the screen here we have 4 Ostwinds. These are armored AA tanks. Very unique, got some unique stats on them. Maybe I'll put a little comment about that when I get to that unit. And then in the middle we have a standard Panzer Grenadier loadout, 7 stands. 6 in the command, and then in the back we have 4 Panzer Js, basically the same as the H variant, but these just came a little later in the war, so they're used in this particular list. So let's have a look at the units themselves. Maybe I'll start off with the probably the least interesting one is the 251/1Ds, and they're plain Jane in the sense that they're standard half tracks, but see the paint job's really really awesome. He did a great job painting these up. The decals look excellent. Each is unique with the crew. The Panzerfaust in the back, and this one here has the 3.7 centimeter modeled, typically used as the command half track. To go with those, or to complement those, is the Panzer Grenadiers here. Again, very awesome paint jobs in my opinion. These are all my opinions, but you guys can comment below if you agree, disagree, or otherwise. Unique, each base has kind of got a little, a narrative piece here. This one with the fence post. There's one in the back here that has the brick wall. So, but all the P dots done up excellent. All the bags and canteens and pouches and otherwise are painted up accordingly. So I was really impressed with that. Some nice base work, a mix of stone, gravel, and some grass. So very impressed by those. Next up we got the Ostwinds here. Like I said, these are an armored AA anti-tank weapon, anti-aircraft weapon rather. It again has a 3.7 on it. What makes the Wirbelwind, it's essentially a Wirbelwind but a little bit different. What makes the Ostwind different is that it does have a front armor 3 similar to the Wirbelwind. It does have a rate of fire of 4 as opposed to 6, but then where it really stands out, it's got anti-tank 6 rating, and then the firepower is 4 up. So obviously first and foremost it's going to be used to protect the King Tigers, but in addition, when not being used in that role, it can be effectively used to dig out arty parks or even dug-in infantry with the 4 up firepower. So that's the main reason they're in the list, and then of course it's got some secondary attributes as well. Let's go to the Panzer Js next. So these are the 4J right here. Again, a lot like the H, but a little bit different. The Schürzen on this one is designed to be more of a mesh Schürzen, and the painter did a really unique thing. He sort of shadowed this bottom area, so when held at a distance, it almost looks like you can see through the meshing, which is kind of unique, but it is actually a solid piece. So that was kind of a really cool thing that he did. And then of course it really, being a larger base, it really has the ability to accent that paint job, almost like a purplish red hue to that. So, and again with the magnetized turrets, very unique. I do have another 5 of these coming, so it'll give me 10 total, so I can sort of switch up the base of the army and have some different variants. So instead of having a King Tiger as the command tank, I can go with the Panzer J. So next up, we do have the King Tiger itself, one of three. Again, you can see the paint job's very unique and highlighted quite nicely on here. I really like the barrel camo. It's quite unique. It doesn't swing fluidly because of the figures there, but of course you can just lift it over the figureheads. That's just something that has to be sacrificed in terms of the ability to have all the riders on there. But these are the Fallschirmjäger, so you'll notice they have the blue pants and some of them with the blue helmets. This is to go with the Fallschirmjäger platoon that I do have coming for the unit. So Fallschirmjäger is going to be a 10 strong unit that's coming. I do have 4 stands of heavy mortars coming. I also have the German fighter jet. And what else do I have coming? I have the Peiper himself. He's mounted in a Panther. I already mentioned the other 5 Panzer Js coming. And then I have some of the 231/1 recce vehicles. That's essentially the Puma chassis with a 2 centimeter gun rather than the Puma, which uses, I think, 7.5 or something similar to that. But it's the lesser powered version of the Puma. So that's coming for the Army as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you enjoyed having a look at the Conf Group Peiper list that I have. Again, I'm running that at the ETC, so I'll give you guys an update of how it plays. And essentially, if the Army plays poorly, it's probably the operator as opposed to the list itself. But I'll let you guys know about that. So any comments, fire them below. Any comments from me, send me an email or put them in the comments below. And I try to reply to everything now that I'm back on YouTube pretty much full time. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.